Welcome back to BX Crack. Most of you don't know because you don't know me, but for those of you who do know, and those of you who don't know, my name is Head Crack BX. I was born in 1985 in the Bronx, New York, in the crack area. I was not only born in the crack era, I was actually raised to two drug dealer parents. So I was scrolling through YouTube, saw this video, and decided, you know what, let me take a quick look at it. The crack is not only affecting my family, it's affected millions of families across the world. And to this day, no matter how hard you try, when you got somebody that's caught up in that lifestyle, they're always going to revert back to it, and sometimes they don't, but for the most part, most don't make it out. To this day, my mom is still on crack. So it's a fucked up situation, but this is something that was born in the year that something that was made the year I was born, and it's about something that has plagued my family from even before I was born, in my early existence. So without further ado, let's get into the special. Let me see it. I never saw this. Just so I happened to be scrolling through YouTube and saw this, so let's get into it.
We have been studying crack since December of 1983. We have learned tremendous things. Okay. One of the things we learned is just how harmful it can be. I'm sure all of you know that crack is usually smoked in a pipe like this. What you may not know, and what you need to know,
a lot different now,
is that in addition to being smoked on marijuana, it is also smoked in regular cigarettes. It's important for you to know that, because
those are called woolies. They're called woolies back in the days.
Your children will be smoking crack, and they will not know it.
This is Bill Hopkins. It is at rallies like this one in the South Bronx that this virtual one-man crusade spreads the word about crack. As a former policeman, Hopkins spent 20 years working in the streets of New York.
So shout out to this man for bringing that to the forefront, but that rally didn't stop nothing. The crack hit all over the world like a plague, and to this day it's still taking victims. Nothing that this man could have did would have ever been able to stop this.
First walking a beat, then working with youth gangs and drug addicts. It is against that background that Hopkins directs one of the country's most unusual efforts against this most unusual epidemic. He heads the Street Studies Research Unit for New York State's Drug Abuse Agency.
I was a cop here in the Bronx for 20 years, right here in the 4-8 precinct. I've been with the Narcotic Commission for 19 years. I have never seen anything as harmful as crack. It's dangerous, it's deadly, it will kill you.
The crazy shit is that, keep it a buck, in the South Bronx, probably more than half the audience at one point probably dibbled and dabbled. At that time, it was crazy, and the people that were smart enough not to ever touch it, they didn't touch it. But most of these people touched it, man. I ain't gonna lie, Bronx was crazy back then.
It is a message that is finally starting to hit home. Many homes, in fact. Cocaine-related deaths have increased dramatically in the past year, along with dramatic increases in violence and crime, all attributed to crack. And yet, it is an epidemic that seems to have caught law enforcement by surprise, and almost everyone else except Bill Hopkins. Now,
they caught them by surprise because they had no idea. It was something that was brand new, something that was synthetically made. They cooked it in a lab. They already knew about cocaine. They knew about all the drugs, but they had no clue how to deal with this because it wasn't something that was readily available. It was something that was chefed up. So that's the reason why they got caught off guard. So yeah, happens with anything that comes out new.
Everyone is trying to find out more about crack, from the residents of threatened neighborhoods to officials of already overburdened courts. And they are calling on Bill Hopkins. Here at the county courthouse in the Bronx, Hopkins helps conduct a seminar on crack for judges, prosecutors, and attorneys.
I have here samples of the various sizes of crack. There's a $5 size, a $10, a $20, and a $50 size. They call it the jumbo. If you were to snort this cocaine that you buy in the street, it will take 1 to 3 minutes for you to get a high. If you smoke the crack that's in here, you will get your high in 4 seconds. The major difference...
I ain't gonna lie, that's the truth. I ain't never smoked crack, but I got plenty of people in my family that smoke crack. People dibbled and dabbled in selling crack, you know what I'm saying? So what you're saying is true, and from the experiences, from what I heard, is that it gives you an immediate high. It's like some of the best feeling you ever had in the world. After a few, you come crashing down to your lowest. So people, when they get addicted to crack, they always searching for that high. They were searching for that first hit when they first took it, that euphoric feeling that they felt. And then right after they finish feeling that feeling, they come crashing down. And that's what keeps them chasing it. I can't speak from experience. I never touched it, but I've been around it a lot.
Differences between the two, and remember
Never smoked
that
it.
this comes from this. When you buy this in the street, it is normally between 15 to 25% pure. After you have processed it into this form, you now have cocaine that is between 90 and 100% pure. That's the major difference between the two. The
reason why is because they break that fucking rest of it out when they cooking it up. The cocaine is what combines with the baking soda to make the rock.
difference is that the high that you're going to get from this is going to last you approximately half an hour. The high that you're going to get from this is only going to last you 7, maybe 8 minutes at the top.
It's a fact.
But the reason this is so popular is because, as the addicts put it, this is that ultimate high that they have always been seeking.
Hopkins'
Euphoria.
specialty is research, gathered in an unorthodox manner from an unorthodox kind of research team. 8 former drug abusers who work undercover in the streets, keeping an ear to the ground and reporting back to him on anything that might help put an end to the growing drug epidemic. Because their work is essentially
I mean, honestly speaking, you gotta respect this guy's effort. He took his time to learn. He was teaching people. He was doing the right thing, but that effort went wasted, brother. That shit ain't stopping nothing. That shit did not stop nothing. We're in 2025 and that shit is still doing this thing. So that shit ain't stopped nothing. But you gotta commend people like this that try. Like me and my family, we did it the wrong way. This man tried. He tried to hit it before it started, but that shit is devious and it ain't gonna stop nothing. But the few lives that he did save, kudos to him.
undercover, members of the team didn't want their faces shown.
Let's try to get some idea of what kind of things y'all are picking up in the street.
In some places I found where they were giving out samples to people that hadn't used it to develop a market, because a lot of people that I know have told me they've tried it once, and after that once they couldn't stop. It was like getting on a train and they couldn't get off it. And I haven't found a drug that was so powerful mentally.
I know a lot of people.
That's a fact right there, what he just said. That's a fact. They were giving out samples, getting you high off it. They knew what they had. They knew how powerful it was, and they knew they're gonna throw away that little sample. It's like marketing. Any marketing in the world, you go throw away that little sample. Say here, just like going into Costco, picking up a little sample from a cookie that they got on the shelf or whatever the case is. They say, oh yeah, you might like this cookie. You wanna buy a box. This know that you take that little sample. You gonna keep buying. 9 times out of 10. 9.5 times out of 10, you're gonna be addicted. You're gonna keep going back for more. So that's what really got people mostly fucked up, is because they got it for free the first time. After that, there's no more free handouts.
People that have went from the needle to crack, and the rationale that they use is one that they want to get away from catching AIDS. So instead of shooting cocaine or heroin, they begin to smoke crack. You know, where they don't have the danger of using the needle. It's easily accessible. They can even put in a cigarette or something, or a joint.
What I've picked up in the last 2 weeks is a lot of hawking of amphetamines and ups, Black Beauties, rainbows, hearts, different things that weren't on the street. And I see these being used and sold to crack users. Like if you're crashing, here, take one of these will keep you up until you can re-up.
The team first heard about crack in 1983, when one member saw someone smoking a lump of cocaine.
We kind of question it because we know what smoking cocaine usually looks like. It's usually not in the form of a lump, but in the form of crystals. Okay? But nevertheless, we began to continue to follow it. And when we actually found out that it was cocaine, we knew immediately we were onto something extremely serious.
What
I don't know what made them know that immediately just by they were smoking in the crystals, but I'm guessing if you're used to dealing with the powder and you see it in a rocked up form, obviously something has been done to turn it into that rocked up form. So I'm guessing intuition told them, hey, this is something that was cooked up, there's something that was chefed up, it might be more powerful because what's making it turn into a rock. Whatever's making it turn into a rock could either be dangerous and kill you, or whatever's making it turn into a rock could make it more potent. And there's a reason why they would turn it into a rock is because it's going to be more potent.
What exactly was it that caused you to be so alarmed about crack?
We knew how lethal cocaine smoking was from the 70s when it was beginning to get popular. We knew that we had many cases of cocaine psychosis, okay, people who have become psychotic from smoking it. So we knew all along that smoking cocaine was extremely deadly. The problem was in the 70s and in the early 80s, it was not easy to convert street cocaine into a form that you could smoke it. And you can't smoke street cocaine as it is. If you put a match to it, you'll just burn up your stash, as they say in the street.
Exactly.
The major difference in crack is that now, instead of going through a very complex system of converting street cocaine so you could smoke it, it become a very simple thing to do.
That's a
To
fact.
show us how simple it
That's
is to
100%
make
fact.
crack, Hopkins escorted our camera crew to a Harlem tenement known as a base or crack house. There are believed to be hundreds, if not thousands, of such houses producing crack in.
I just want to put a disclaimer, and I don't know if it'll stop anything, but any kids watching this, any kids happen to stumble along this, anyone that's never used crack, any teenagers, stay away from that shit, man. Don't sell it, don't smoke it, don't use it, just stay away from it. Hopefully I saved one of you.
New York.
Just like now,
Users go there to smoke
before it was
it.
just like
Although they're breaking the law, the men in this room trust Hopkins and his research team because they've developed an understanding that their mission is research, not police work. Hopkins will not turn them in.
I'll show you how they bring it back to a rock form. They take some of the white and they mix it with the reds, right? They'll take it
I'm not gonna
burn it.
lie. You see, we need more shit like this nowadays. We need more shit like this. This was on the news in 1985 in New York City. This probably hit syndication in other places as well, but this was on the news in 1985 in New York City. You won't see this type of shit on the news no more. You just see propaganda, you see politics, you see Trump versus the world versus Trump. You're not gonna see real stuff like this no more. This is what we need to bring back. This is what we need to do to fix some of the shit that's going on in the world.
It melts into an oil.
It melts into an oil, right? Then I'll take this and I'll bring it back to a rock.
And that crack is good.
This is the best one.
You mix the residue with some of the white,
Some of the
and you
white.
into an oil, and then
To
you
an
stir
oil.
the oil.
Right, then it's
and then
stirred.
that's the way you let it dry.
Let it dry.
And then scrape it together.
Scrape it
And now
down.
what you have
It's
is
almost $10 worth of cocaine.
and it's actually a better
Flavor,
than the
better
original
taste.
crack.
Crack is sometimes mixed with other highly potent drugs like PCP, the pain-killing street drug known as angel dust. These men know better than anyone.
Stay the fuck away from angel dust. If you do anything, stay the fuck away from angel dust as well. That should make you lose your mind. You know how many people I've seen get blasted off angel dust and turn into complete weirdos. Don't stay away from drugs, man.
What that can do.
So you can spend like maybe say $60 or $40 and be satisfied. But if you got these cracks, that's why they're so hard on these cracks, because what it does to people. But it's not the cocaine, it's the stuff that they put in the cracks. That's what makes a person, you know,
Come
like
back for
say,
more.
keep going, like they say, the things that they do for cracks. It's like it's really, you can't describe it. It's just like a desire and what you call like something that you want real bad, you know, and like you'll do anything for it.
That's that feeling I was telling you about. That's that feeling of euphoria that he's trying to explain. He just don't know how to explain it, but you feel that euphoria. You feel it take over your body. You feel like the best that you've ever been. Imagine you feeling the best you've ever felt. Mentally, physically, everything. You just feel amazing. But then that shit comes crashing down right away. But that's what he's explaining. You're gonna do anything for that feeling again. So that's why crackheads are known for doing what the crackheads are doing to get the money to do this again.
What's some of the things people do for you?
Oh, I seen a broad pawn a baby, 2-year-old little boy, to the crack man for 2 cracks.
Just gave it to her.
Just pawn the son to him. Otherwise, if she's gonna pawn for him to hold,
Keep my son.
You just said she pawned his fucking son. Pawn a 2-year-old for some crack. Mother's a fucking loser. I mean, but tell you the truth, shit happens though, bro. Shit definitely happens. I've been in some fucked up situation when I was a kid due to my mom being on crack, but shit is weird, bro.
Like, thing as far as women is concerned, like, they'll do anything. We had one woman, one young lady, and for just a hit off the pipe, there was about 5 guys in the room, and she did anything the 5 guys wanted. Just for that, not even a $5 piece or a $10 piece, just for a pull.
That's a fact.
Pipe. She did what?
It's a fucking fact. They do whatever for that.
Hopkins says it's important not only to his research to maintain contacts with such drug addicts, it's the only way to really help them.
Some of these young guys that are using crack are using it with PCP.
Right.
And the combination of these two is where these people are. That's where you're dangerous. This is your bomb that's ready to explode at the least little thing. I have heard of one case in Jersey where a guy was so paranoid, he thought that there was a narc hiding out in his carburetor.
That shit is true. That shit is true. I remember, I must have been in probably like the 4th or the 5th grade, and I remember my mom, she was high and she was bugging out. She started telling me, oh, duck, duck, duck. They're sniping at the window. They're sniping at the window. Duck, they're sniping at the window. They don't want you to get shot in the face. Duck, hang on, lay on the floor, lay on the floor. They're sniping at the window. Mind you, we lived on like the 14th floor. There was nobody sniping at the window, but we're young, we're stupid, we don't know what they're talking about. And we're asking like, who's sniping? How you know they're sniping? What do you mean they're sniping? What do you mean? Yes, they're shooting at the window, they're shooting at the window. Nobody was there. There was nobody shooting at the window, nothing happening, but when they're on that stuff, they be bugging out.
Took a shotgun and shot up his engine.
We're seeing violence involved with it. We're seeing that it's both men and women. We're seeing that sex is involved with it. Are we seeing it improve any or getting worse in the last 3 months?
Worse.
We discuss new terms we hear in the street. Sometimes it's a drug, sometimes it's just a street term. If we know what it is, we record it. We record it because we get calls from the police department, from the FBI, from the DEA, from school personnel, from drug treatment people saying, what does this word mean and what does that word mean? So we become like a clearing agency for that.
Law enforcement officials like New York City Special Prosecutor Sterling Johnson say the information he gets from Hopkins helps him determine his priorities and redirect his limited resources.
I
may get a lot of.
I'm not gonna lie, this guy, I think they said his name is Hopkins. He did a lot to help. He did a lot to help. That man cared, man. That man did the right thing. He was trying to do the right thing. Fortunately, this shit didn't work. But I'm pretty sure he saved some lives with this information to gather, and like that man really cared. He was a police officer, and not a lot of police officers care, and not a lot of police officers give a fuck. But there are a lot that do care. There are a lot that do take their job serious, and that really want to do stuff for change. And this man was definitely one of them.
And sometimes it might have no meaning to me, or it might just have a general meaning, and I'll ask him specifically, what does it mean? Why is it that people sell crack in vials with a blue top as opposed to a black top? Why has maybe a particular crack center been
in 1985
shifted,
about
from
Nothing.
the Lower East Side up to Washington Heights? What types of...
It's crazy. This is the year I was born, so to see from just my point of view growing up, seeing crack all over the place, being involved in crack, all of this shit, like, they didn't know shit in 1985 in New York about this crack shit. They didn't know what the fuck they had on their hands. They thought they knew what they had on their hands, but they didn't fucking have no idea what they had on their hands. No idea whatsoever. This shit brought so much violence to New York City. This shit brought so much death. This shit brought so much bullshit to families. This shit left families struggling in need, and these people had no clue. This question right now in 1985 is, why do some of them have blue tops and red tops? It's a valid question if you don't know, but shit is crazy.
Of people are selling crack? As a general rule, everybody sells crack, but what ethnic groups are involved? And not only will he
That's a
get
weird ass.
the,
What ethnic groups? You know what the fuck
information
ethnic groups
and
are involved.
disseminate it, but he'll analyze it.
Johnson says that Hopkins' work is invaluable to his efforts.
I don't think that there is any other unit or organization in the country that does the things anywhere near what Bill does, what his unit does.
So far,
Yeah, facts. I don't know this guy, but he definitely did a lot.
For as much as half of all federally prosecuted drug cases in New York City. Also, the New York City Police Department has established a special crack police team, 101 veteran undercover officers. So far, in the 2 months that they've been organized, at least 188 street dealers have been arrested, police say. As a former undercover policeman himself, Hopkins says there's a big difference in the work now than when he was on the street 20 years ago.
The major difference in what's going on the street today and compared to what might have been going on in the 60s, I believe, is the attitudes of the young people. They were dealing with drugs then, but it was not so open and accepted. It was still the kind of thing that's hidden. Today, people are not ashamed, the kids especially are not ashamed to tell other kids that they use drugs and that they try drugs and that they experiment with drugs. Many of them actually brag about the fact.
You see, that's a little different. You see, my age, or like when I was growing up, you see, I could see that happening like in the early stages this year's, but when I was growing up, you didn't want to be known as a fucking crackhead, bro. The early stage, that shit must have been cool. That's probably why it hit so hard. But when I was growing up, you didn't want to be known as a fucking crackhead. All our parents were crackheads. You was looked at as a weirdo if you was a crackhead. So we felt the pain of the shit that our parents did to us when I was growing up, that crack shit wasn't cool to use. Now, selling is a little different, but it was not cool to use that shit.
That they use crack. They call it beaming up, okay? That's a term they got from Star Trek. They say, do you smoke? Do you this? Oh no, I beam up, indicating, I'm great, I use crack.
Such attitudes fuel Hopkins' crusade against crack.
I just feel that if we could do much more to stop it from coming in, it would certainly reduce.
They really
the
tried,
problem.
man.
It's not going to solve.
You gotta commend the effort.
But it
They
would
really tried.
certainly, reduce it. I also think
Crack down on
tremendous
crack. They really
educational
tried.
job has to be done, and I believe drugs can be beat. It's not easy, but I believe it can be beat.
That's the video for y'all. Just wanted to let y'all know. Let me cancel this real quick. I don't want to start no new shit. But that's the video for y'all, man. Hope you appreciate the content. This is a disclaimer to all the kids out there: stay away from drugs, stay away from crack, stay away from everything. Stay away from weed, stay away from all that shit. Shit's not worth it. Might give you a little fun time, but the fun time don't always last. Till next time, peace.